That's it.
That's our intro music. Good morning, Joel.
Did you record that? Because we're going to cut that snippet and do it every single time. Good morning, Ben.
It looks like it recorded, so we're in.
That's what I'm talking about.
Happy Friday, everyone. This is C&T episode 27.
27.
Look at that. Now, here's the good news. For those that are tuning in, got a lot of action on Instagram Live right now.
People like to wave because I wave.
We are going to try our best to not be the podcast about nothing today. So what I mean by that is like having a purpose. And so this week, coaches were assigned or decided to read an article from the CrossFit Journal called Foundations.
Part of the Glassman Chipper.
Part of the Glassman Chipper, which is the review for the level 3. So we will be getting into that. So for those that don't know, and it's something that I'd encourage athletes to read as well, it gives a great foundation to what CrossFit is. I mean, it literally is titled Foundations and gives you insight into kind of what Glassman's methodology was or thoughts were and how he sees it. So the Glassman Chipper is a series of...
What was the year that this was published?
I wish I knew how many.
06.
2006. But all of the articles Greg Glassman himself has ever written is in the Glassman Chipper, and so we are reading those 2 per week until we're done. Then I'm going to take my O3 and I'm going to crush the world. So that's going to be very, very exciting.
06 is still very relevant.
Yeah, and that's what's amazing about almost everything we're going to read. I don't think much is outdated. Oh.
I almost was going to take a sip out of my mic.
Oh.
Okay.
How would that go?
I have no idea.
Chloe would love whatever noise that would have made.
Sound like a Prius.
But before we get to that, let's have a little bit. I mean, we always have fun.
Always.
So, a couple things. And I haven't shown Joel this.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to slide him a list of potential topics.
All right.
Okay, we don't have to do all of them today. This is more of a brainstorm for future episodes. I was thinking we pick like 3 of them each episode and kind of go over that. Anyways, so as he looks over that and gets an idea for what we might bring up today, I want to talk about what we have coming up. Okay, first of all, our athletes, the hoodie pre-order, please get on that. You have until Sunday night because I'm going to order Monday morning. The sample hoodies are here. Okay, they do fit differently than last year's hoodies. Joel and I both tried them on. And I'll throw it to Joel, but basically the idea is that larges fit large, like people buy large T-shirts. However, there's a little bit of length to them this year. Yeah. So for me, I think it's actually a pretty perfect fit. Last year I had to order an extra large, but then for Joel, it's kind of a question. We said, if it shrinks, it would actually be super perfect. Yeah. Not shrinks a lot, but like does that dryer like tightening up? It'd be like super perfect.
That's what I need to find out.
So you're like a medium large.
Medium large.
A medium wide.
Because I don't want to look extra short. I'm very short enough. I think I need to walk around in a nightgown with the
So make sure you come in and try on for the size, and then send me an email with the color and the size or the colors. Okay, there's a blue, like a light blue. There's a pomegranate, which is kind of like what I call like a crayon shaded red.
Yep.
And then black, which is true black, and then a gray, like a dark like a light charcoal, not a dark charcoal.
Not as dark as last year's.
Not quite as dark as last year's.
But not super gray either.
Yeah, it's not 2 years ago where it was a light gray.
Yeah.
So you have to see it yourself.
Somewhere in between.
Have to see yourself. It is in the email of our athletes, and it's also on Quad City, our Facebook group. So get that. This weekend, we will be at Hammer and Chisel.
Oh, yeah.
Delilah and Summer are taking on the world in their competition, and so I will be out there from the start. Joel will be leading the show here, okay? And then once he's done, he'll be heading out there. And so feel free to join us. That's Stafford, Texas. You take 59 South. You exit Murphy Road. Take that left under the freeway, and it's about a mile down on your left side. I'd say it's a 25 to 30-minute drive from Black Wolf without traffic. And so that is where we'll be Saturday. And then next weekend, equally awesome, River Oaks Middle School, okay? We got the Black Wolf Power Ponies lining up to take on the world at the Energy Games put on by Vintage CrossFit. And, again, River Oaks Middle School, and that will be Lulu and Joelle and Angie. And then Adam will be back in town for a day for the competition from Seattle. So, unfortunately, I will not be there. I'll be coaching, and then I have a wedding in San Antonio, family wedding, and so can't get out of it. I'll be up in Boerne, Texas, Saturday night. So, going to miss that competition, but you guys are going to kick ass. Are you excited? Looking forward to it?
I'm looking forward to it. I like being in competitions. It's fun. The qualifier workouts, that's another story. But there was no qualifier for this one, but just speaking on, qualifier workouts are horrible, but getting in like any competition is so much fun, which is why you should really go out this weekend and support Summer and Delila. This will be Delila's first competition, and we all know Delila's very shy, so she'd very much appreciate y'all's support.
And she's going to kill it. And so, and what y'all also will be able to observe, I think the reason y'all should go cheer on is not only to support Delila and Summer, not only to show the strength of the community, but also to see for yourself that you could be doing this too.
Mm-hmm.
Because competition, and it's that word's a misnomer. Look, this is as much of a competition as a 5K race is a race. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Like, if I said, hey, everybody, let's sign up for a 5K, nobody would argue. They'd be like, okay, cool, we'll do a team 5K. That's fun.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, why aren't you nervous? Because it doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, sign up for competition. But it matters.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Exactly.
Like, just like in the 5K, you're going to do the best you can.
Mm-hmm.
In the competition, you're going to do the best you can, and that's
Mm-hmm.
all that matters. So I think more people should compete because it's, one, an expression of what you work so hard to learn and do here. But two, it's fun, man. I mean, you really hit it. Like, it's really fun to just get out there and move.
It's fun. You're surrounded by other people who also might feel just like you do as well. So I mean, you're not the only one there that's nervous. Everyone there is nervous as hell for the workout because they want to do good. Like,
well, and that you bring up a great point. When I like, where else do I get to be around other athletes from other gyms? I'm probably not going to drop in other places. I'm probably not going to visit, and so I get to be there. And then it's just like I see runners do it all the time. Like, they bump into each other at a restaurant. I'm like, oh my God, you run?
Yeah.
And it's fun to talk about.
I saw you at that race.
Yeah, dude, how was that 5K? How was the half? Okay.
Yeah.
And so, like, competition for CrossFit's the same idea. Like, you get to meet people and honestly, you probably have some friends at other gyms that might be there. So, moral of the story, we don't need to stick on this too long, but you should sign up. In the meantime, show up this weekend and next weekend. This weekend, Atomic CrossFit in Stafford, again, Murphy Road, right off 59. And then next weekend, Energy Games at River Oaks Middle School. River Oaks Middle School. So, awesome. The only other thing that's on the calendar for the month would be the Thanksgiving potluck, which is going to be Saturday after Thanksgiving at 5 p.m. We'll be closed Thursday all day, no class. Friday we'll be here 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. Saturday we'll be here 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. Potluck at 5, and then class at 10:30 on Sunday. Okay, yoga at what we're doing 11:45 now.
1:45.
Yeah, we moved it to have a little bit of a cushion.
Oh.
So, regular schedule for the weekend. The only weird ones, Thursday we're closed, and then Friday 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. only. So
and you're welcome to bring whatever you want to the
yes,
potluck.
the potluck. This is not some trick to like shame you for food. Like, bring regular food. Some of y'all make some wicked dips. Bring that dip. What was that, Allie and Josh that brought the dip to 4th of July?
I've never seen such a big platter.
Bring that dip back. Bring whatever you want.
Dip.
Okay, we're gonna be here 2 to 3 hours, probably 5 to 8. I'm sure we'll get Cards Against Humanity out, get those games out.
Yep.
We always seem to have a lot of fun doing that. And then, and bring the booze, bring the food. Okay, so that's Saturday after Thanksgiving.
All the fun things.
And this is for, and I made the joke in class, so it's a worn-out joke, but this is for both those that have no family to celebrate with. That's not the joke. And then those that are sick of their family by Saturday. That's the joke. Okay.
I was kind of confused for a second. I was like, that's a little dark.
If you don't have anybody to hang out with on Thanksgiving, I want you to be here so that you're not alone. It's a time to celebrate being awesome, honestly, being grateful for life. So, hey, you flip the camera.
Oh, son of a biscuit-eating bulldog. There we go. Good
I didn't know you
catch.
could tap to flip. I had no idea that was an option.
Yeah,
Learn
just
something new
double
every
tap.
day.
It's got to be a little gentle. Just don't use your nose.
I want to talk just for a second, and I want to talk about highlights from the week. I'd like to start doing this. I'd like us to kind of look back on the week. And I know I just put you on I mean, we mentioned last week, but I put you on the spot this week. And I'm going to take the easy one, but there's no pressure because there's a few others. But I'm going to take this because I still don't have the video. I still don't have the video. Why do I not have a video of Charlotte doing strict pull-ups?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
Allegedly, it was shared on a story. And
it's gone. That only lasts 24 hours.
Right, and
I'm
so
pretty sure someone saved it.
like that's what I'm saying. Like, please tell me someone saved that.
It's saved somewhere.
Because you know what's funny? Charlotte Garrett even after you did your first trick, not warm, didn't warm up. Like they're hanging out around the pull-up bar, and I guess it was kind of like a, let me see.
Yeah.
And then she did it. And then, so no video. So then she does it again so someone videos it, okay? That's all awesome. She drops from the second one and goes, oh my gosh, that was so slow. Charlotte.
They always find a way, don't
Charlotte. So you did something that you had literally told us to my face that you would never be able to do, and then you still judged yourself because it was slow?
Goodness.
What are we doing here? That's a comment, I think. So if you have the video of Charlotte doing strict pull-ups, can someone please send that to me? Okay, I don't know why we're not bragging about it, telling the whole world. She deserves to be bragged on.
Good old Juan. You are an adult. You have Summer's email. You can message her. #JustSaying.
Bro, you live with her.
Yeah, you live with her, bro.
You also said you would get it.
Yeah, bro. Where you at? Come through, bro.
So.
Apparently Summer sent it to us both.
Okay, awesome.
Well, then we'll look into that.
Awesome. So we will be posting that. So that's one of the highlights. Another highlight would be the fact that we survived the week. I want to start with that.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think that'd be a question.
Well, of course you didn't, because you don't think about any of this stuff.
Although,
but I think about this stuff all the time.
Although I did just try to take a sip out of my mic, so.
Yeah, so maybe it's taking a toll on you more than you're admitting. But, I mean, anything else stand out in your mind? I'm trying to I can't even remember. Frank asked me what the Wednesday workout was. I already forgot that. So my memory's shot right now. But,
well, I mean, I was going to actually bring up everyone taking on Holly. Not Holly. Kelly. Ha! Kelly.
Yeah, Joel's not tired.
Benchmark WOD Kelly.
Yeah, man, you're right. I mean, as a community, that was a highlight. I was very surprised. I mean, there was a little bit of eye rolling, a little bit of 30 wall balls, but for the most part, man, that was a lot of positivity.
No, it was, and like a lot of people like got very, 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 very close to finishing.
Yeah,
even with the time cap that we.
So if someone wasn't here, we had a 30-minute time cap. So when we say close to finishing, like. Honestly, the average time for regular folks is about 30 to 35 minutes, and we cut it at 30. And so what he's referring to is that they were probably in that fourth round as that cutoff came through. Yeah. And there's 5 rounds.
Working into the
for those who don't know,
actually.
Kelly has 5 rounds for time of 400-meter run, 30 box jumps, 24-inch for the boys, 20-inch for the ladies, and 30 wall balls, 20 pounds for the boys, 14 for the ladies. But yeah, man, you're right. That is absolutely highlight. But that brings up, in my mind, Angie's performance all week. I feel like she tapped into a new level of things this week, both on that Kelly workout. She was with me yesterday at 4:30. I set her up on yesterday's workout on an individual basis, and it was set up for her to fail, and she crushed it. She ended up doing 5 rounds. I think the average for individuals was 3 rounds, and so Angie's a highlight.
She doesn't know when to stop.
She kills it, man. Angie killed it again this week.
I think she would keep on going if you told her to keep on going.
Yeah, absolutely. To a fault. Absolutely.
Yeah, to a fault. Like, she's a machine, but even machines got to be charged up every now and then.
Yeah, no.
Angie, work on your rest.
We're going to get on that. But look, she needs the gym right now to get her focus off of what she's dealing with at work, and so we're glad that she's able to come in here, and she's going to kick ass next weekend. And then finally, we haven't talked about this, and I don't think I've been grateful enough for this. I mean, we need to say it out loud. 8:30 is a legitimate class now.
It sure is.
Like, have you thought about that?
Yeah.
It was not that long ago. It was 1 to 2 people.
Yeah. 3 on a good day.
3 on a good day.
Now it's like 8.
Lizette rolling in at 8:32. That was the third.
She's here early all the time.
It'd be like my mom hanging out by herself for 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then like player 2 would come in about 8:25.
Mm-hmm.
One time, and then actually, I'm sorry, Janai's been showing up for a while now. It's been a couple months. So my mom and Janai, and it'd be kind of like who's going to be the next one. But really, when Janai showed up, I mean, not to give Janai too much credit, but kind of Janai's arrival was when 8:30 got serious.
Yeah.
In terms of, I'm only talking about attendance. Yeah. All of you were very serious when you showed up, but I'm talking about attendance. You know, and on a serious note, like, we sell group fitness. We don't sell individual training. We can do individual training, and from time to time, we do that. But, like, the experience is a part of this. And so when it's consistently 1 to 2 people, they're not getting CrossFit. Yeah. Like, that's not the methodology.
And that's something that Janai was good about. She's like, where were you at? Like, how come you didn't come? Like, hey, you coming to class? Like, she's friendly. Everyone, she'll introduce herself without you having to introduce her, and she'll find a way to reach you on through social media and be like, "Where were you at?" Like,
Right.
Her and my mom text back and forth all the time now. Like, what?
That's awesome.
My mom's bringing her food, and they're
Yes, she is.
they're
In the
exchanging
actual
food.
pot.
Yeah.
Like your mom just walks in with a pot straight
Yeah.
off the stove. It's like, hey, made you something. There you go.
Yeah. She was like, I thought she was gonna give me some Tupperware.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you can get the pot. Give it back when you're done.
By the way, Dina, feel free to cook for me whenever you want. I could use some rice as well.
Make some rice.
No, and you know what? I think that plays too. And we've always said, if you can't do it for yourself, do it for the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what she brought, and again, it's not that the men and women that came to 8:30 before she arrived didn't have this. I don't think they knew to celebrate it.
Mm-hmm.
Janai had a mentality of, if she missed a day, it was a bad thing.
Yeah.
And before that, it was kind of an 8:30. If I missed a day, meh. You know?
Yeah.
Like if my mom misses and Lizette's like, where were you? It's not like, yeah, I wanted to be here. It used to be just kind of like, yeah, I couldn't come.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And for those that are like, oh, you're saying I have to show. But like the idea is like, you should want to be active. You should want to be training.
You should want to be here.
Janai comes in and there's this energy about being here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, whoa, where were you yesterday?
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, you didn't make it. Okay, that's,
Yeah. She's concerned.
I probably won't make it either. Like,
Yeah,
and so I think that changed because we have that at 4:30. Among that group, it's kind of like when someone doesn't show up, it's like, hey, where's that person? And 5 a.m. is another example of that as well. If any of those main 10 to 15 people don't show up, someone goes, where is so and so? Like Jerry going to like a 2-day workout week for a while. Everybody's like, hey, Jerry's missing Mondays and Fridays now. Where's he at? And so people want to know.
Jerry.
And then I think that just encourages that culture. Again, it has nothing to do with performance. It's just about showing up.
That brings about that camaraderie.
There you go. And then it makes it easier to suffer.
Yeah. Makes it easier to come in because you're going to be there with everyone you like to work out with.
It's now a group challenge instead of an individual challenge.
And that makes it a lot more easier, a lot more acceptable for yourself.
Absolutely, which is what CrossFit's all about.
Yeah.
But, I think that's great. I'll say also a highlight would be the fact that free yoga is growing. I think we had 10 to 12 people the first time, and then this week we had the 20. And so getting bigger and bigger. We're going to be legit now. I've ordered 5 mats, and I ordered 10 blocks. And so we're going to have, like, actual yoga stuff.
Yoga blocks.
Yeah, the yoga blocks. And so going to be – and they were like, I got the real brand, and so I asked Shay what we should do, and so we're gonna have real yoga stuff. So if you somehow don't know, 11:45 on Sunday, free yoga with Shay Robinson.
Free yoga.
Be here, not for just members, anybody.
30 to 45 minutes, you say?
It's gonna be 45 minutes this week because she has another class she has to coach afterwards, but normally it'll be an hour. And so free yoga every Sunday. We'd love to have you come in. Again, not just for our members. Everybody is invited.
Bring a friend.
So,
do some yoga.
Okay, that was any other highlights? Any other personal highlights? How's the so for those that don't know, I keep saying those that don't know, you wouldn't know this because he didn't tell anybody. If you just walk in, and actually even if you walked in, you might not even realize it because he normally videos himself doing dumb stuff. Hey Joel, how's Wadapalooza going?
Horrible. I'm just very, very sore. I'm so sore.
Didn't expect that answer.
It's just because I'm super
So
sore.
maybe explain. You're doing individual. You did the individual. Now you're doing team. But explain start to finish. Hey Joel, what is Wadapalooza?
Wadapalooza is a CrossFit competition held in Miami, Florida, and it is one of the biggest competitions. Probably maybe even bigger than the Granite Games. Is it Granite? No, is Granite Games?
I would say it's much bigger now.
Much bigger than Granite Games.
I think that's why Granite is now going to this like remote site.
For their competition.
Yeah, I think that's why because nobody wanted to go to Minnesota or wherever it was.
It's up there. It's up there. I was like, where's it at? Yeah, I'm not gonna try to go that way.
No.
Like that location. Like, nope, I don't want to.
Like, when it comes to because as an athlete, you're gonna have to pay your own way, have to get a hotel and all that stuff. And when you're like, all right, round trip tickets $600.
Yeah.
I'm going to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Versus Miami.
Yeah, Miami.
Somehow you're like, oh, that's worth it. But Minnesota, you're like, that should be a $200 ticket.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $600.
I'm not paying so much to go over there. Do I have any friends up there? Miami, I'd probably actually have a stay if I went that way. But yeah, it is a huge competition, very popular. You'll actually see if you have any CrossFit heroes that you know of, they probably are competing at Wadapalooza because it's such a big event. And it is huge. They need all kinds of volunteers. They're right on the beach. They'll even do workouts when it's raining, damn near hurricanes. Nothing I really want to experience. I don't think bar muscle-ups would be safe. in that kind of environment. But I did the individual qualifier. I'm pretty sure I didn't make it if I got the volunteer invite.
Don't write yourself off. You don't know that. Because remember, the Fitness Games was weird about that, too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So there are people. There is a chance if someone's like, I just wanted to see how good I was.
Is there
but
not
I
a
don't want to
leaderboard?
go. I think there is.
Can you see where you're at, and then that way you
I'm pretty sure. But
know?
Meh. I just wanted to do the qualifier.
Sure.
If I get accepted, I'll wait for that email.
Sure.
I'm not too crazy about it. I'd like to.
All right,
compete.
so internet, go Google Joel and see if he's on the leaderboard.
Yeah, do that. But now I'm doing a team one with 2 athletes from Cityside. I was invited to join the team, so I'm remotely doing my part at the gym, all by myself.
Yeah, why are you doing it that way?
'Cause I don't have time to. Because they usually work out at night, and I'm here at night.
Yeah.
So like my workout time is before I coach in the afternoon. And it's just how it is right now. So I'm just sticking to my guns, and we're just going back and forth through group text. And
do you have any more qualifiers?
3 more workouts.
When are you doing them?
Hopefully the day before I coach, and maybe tomorrow after I coach.
Well, what if
Sunday as
and
well?
This is I don't know why we're not doing this, but what if you said, "Hey, those of you that might like to do these workouts, would you join me tonight after class?"
Ooh.
Hey, Angie, what time are you working out today? Could you maybe do a qualifier with me?
Maybe.
That way you're not lonely in a dark gym.
Just me and the music, Ben. Me and my thoughts. Mental fortitude.
That's great for training. It's not great for performing.
It really isn't. It's pretty bad. But I mean, I'm doing all right.
No, of course you are. I just think that it would if no other reason. Even if you got the same results, you'd have more fun.
Yeah, actually, like that's one thing that CrossFit's very, very, very good at. It is way more different to work out in a group than it is by yourself. Like by yourself, that's cool, whatever. You got mental fortitude, yada yada yada. But it makes such a difference when you're doing the same workout with friends or just people, just because it amps you up. It makes you want to do better than you would by yourself. Like. Not everyone can train by themselves. Not everyone has to. But if you could find a group of people to train with, it is just so much fun. And that is why I do CrossFit, even though I work out alone a lot. But yeah, so my hamstrings are gone. The last workout I did was 60 deadlifts, 45 overhead squats, 30 shoulder to overhead with 135 pounds. And that turned out better than I thought. Didn't go as planned, but turned out better than I thought. The plan was to do 3 sets of everything. Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
Everything was on fire.
I can't imagine. Actually, that's tough. That sucks.
This is bad.
But it's awesome for you getting it done. Okay, man. Awesome. Well, good luck with that. Can't wait to see where y'all stack up.
We'll see.
Do you know when the actual event is?
End of January.
End of January in Miami. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that'd be fun, man. Cool.
Off we go.
All right. So that brings us to notes from the journal. So this week, we read Foundations from the CrossFit Journal. Again, it's written by CrossFit founder and CEO Greg Glassman, and it's 8 pages. It's free, so y'all can Google this. Just type CrossFit Foundations, CrossFit Journal, and it'll come up. And I think that if you want to be a part of this is something that I think should be in a welcome packet. I think that you should receive this during your free week so you can read it and learn up on it.
That's a good idea.
And it lays everything out. And Mr. Oliveris read it this week, and he told me that a lot of what was written in there he's heard you and I say. And so I don't think we think of that as we're saying stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to hear that we are
saying
still
things that are written,
sticking to the core principles of CrossFit. And
it works. The CrossFit system works.
Well, and that's what I wanted to start with on here. So Foundations gives you a little background. So it was written in 2006. So in 2006, CrossFit existed for 5 years. It had not yet reached any sort of popularity. It was primarily being used in military circles and first responding circles, and then whatever Glassman had in California going on. And so it had started to grow. They already had the affiliates, but not nationwide. Like in Houston, for example, affiliates didn't pop up until 2009. And then it didn't really take off till like to the end of 2010, 2011. That's when you started to see the current growth model begin. And so in 2006, when this was written, it really is, for those of you, and especially if you're skeptic, what this does, it gives you the background. And it demonstrates that this wasn't some guy that was like, I like to do power cleans.
Yeah.
But if I do 30 of them, it'd be good for me.
No.
Like, it gives you where they're coming from. It lays out the methodology. It talks about who they've used this with, the Olympic athletes, the football programs, like all this stuff. Like, and that's what all these journals are going to get into.
Army,
so then
rescuers, first responders.
Then you read it and you go, oh, so this isn't some Instagram guy going like, find my back and buy program, and I did it myself. This is a program that has been used by other programs.
6-week abs.
Yeah. So I think that everybody should read this. Now,
butt blaster.
The first thing I wanted to talk about is, what is an athlete? Because it literally defines it, okay? And it gives the Merriam-Webster definition, but then it gets into what it calls the tighter CrossFit definition. And the CrossFit definition of an athlete is a person who is trained or skilled in strength, power, balance, and agility, flexibility, and endurance, okay? I think that's really important because, we call our clients athletes, and when we say that, some people are like, I'm not an athlete.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're showing up consistently, you're training.
Yeah.
And we could get into, like, what's the difference between training and working out.
If you're running, you're throwing, you're jumping, you're catching, you're an athlete.
You're an athlete, okay?
You're an athlete.
And if
think football,
if you want to split the hairs on the training versus working out is when you show up and you just get sweaty. There's nothing wrong. Some people describe this and they describe it critically. There's nothing wrong. But, like, think about, like, going to spin classes, working out. There's not a methodology, okay? You're just showing up. You're getting sweaty. You're pushing. It can still burn. It can still work. But there's not steps being taken. You're not progressing towards anything. Training is when there is a program laid out before you and you're taking steps each day. So athletes are anybody that basically trains. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
So my mom, 63 years old, she is an athlete.
She's an athlete.
Okay? She comes in here and does everything you just said. And so I think that's the first really interesting thing from this, and that's on page 3. And then, we get into one of the questions we get, or one of the statements we get, like, what if I don't want to be an athlete? I just want to be healthy.
Well, you're going to run,
it's the same
jump, squat,
same thing,
throw,
same thing,
catch.
Look at that. Hey, was that his response a second ago? Because it's the same thing, okay? Glassman says, and we're going to read it in one, I don't think it was in here, that our needs differ by degree, not kind. And it's in the later one. I think it's the what is fitness, or the fitness in other words.
Just the what is fitness.
But that's a part of, I forget which article that's a part of. But
this is the first one.
It basically talks about, like, the needs of an Olympian and the needs of a retiree are the same. They differ by degree. And
it's right here. It's right here.
Oh, sorry, I skipped
it. The first sentence. And is this for me?
I skipped it. Okay. Your needs and the Olympic athletes differ by degree, not kind. Okay. Increased power, strength, cardiovascular and respiratory endurance, flexibility, stamina, coordination, agility, balance, and that's a typo, and coordination. Okay. Those are the 10 general physical skills look to be trained by CrossFit, by the way. Are each important to the world's best athletes and to your grandparents. Okay? So I think that's the first thing you have to understand. Like, whatever you're doing, like, you look at someone that is seen as elite, you're still training in the same way. Not the same program, because, again, it differs by degree. So he or she needs more volume. He or she needs more weight. Maybe they need the program more rest based on where they're at.
An Olympic lifter needs to lift 2 to 3 times a day for what they do. As for a regular person.
But just as they need to pull and press and squat, you need to pull and press and squat.
Just not
you
as
know?
much.
And so I think that's really cool to understand, and it gives you a little bit more insight into kind of what we're doing here. And then the article progresses, and then, I mean, the last thing I'll be specific about, then I want to have more of a general conversation, is the CrossFit method. What is the CrossFit method? And it says CrossFit method is to establish a hierarchy of effort and concern that builds as follows. Guess what number 1 is? Your diet. Okay, nutrition is the foundation of the pyramid. Then metabolic conditioning, just think like general work capacity. Okay, you like simply
21:59 workout.
Yeah, you could say like cardiovascular, but it's more than that. But I do think that like in terms of normalcy, your ability to breathe steady while working. Okay, you need to increase that. After you get that up, then we're gonna move to gymnastics. It doesn't mean like round-offs and
Juan, hashtag check your phone once in a while. Kirby sent me a funny meme. Kirby, send Juan that meme.
Okay.
I'll show you the meme later.
So gymnastics does not have to mean like what you think of gymnastics. It means moving your body through space. Like think about the body weight movements, like even a push-up, okay? But manipulating yourself around a pull-up bar, even escalating things, the handstand push-ups, muscle-ups, things like that.
Ring roast to pull-ups.
And then we go to weightlifting and throwing, okay? So we've gone diet, then we went general conditioning, and then we went gymnastics. Now we're to the fancy stuff, okay? We're going weightlifting and throwing, all right? And then we finish with sport, okay? And sport is the expression of all of that.
Yeah.
And so if you're playing football, you're playing basketball, you're going to get all of that before,
Cricket.
and then you go to your sports-specific stuff. By the way, runners, sport, running. Did you hear all the stuff I said before you focus solely on running? Did you hear? Did I say just go out and run? No, I said fix your diet. Then I said general physical preparedness. That means that you come in here and you do multiple modalities. Then I said you work on gymnastics, then weightlifting and throwing, and then you focus on running, okay? And that's why we get so many injuries in the running community is because we don't build up the musculature to support that sort of pounding, okay? So keep that in mind. Running is a sport. Very, very popular sport, but we forget the general physical preparedness that's necessary to keep you healthy and safe.
And the majority of people are doing this backwards.
Starting at the top.
Pickup basketball, softball at the park, getting hurt.
Hey, Joel,
recreational sports.
Thanksgiving's coming up. You're going to play a sport on Thanksgiving Day.
Yes.
You're going to play some football.
I'll play some pickup football.
Now, in the past,
I'm just going to jog.
In the past, we've had some issues.
Yeah.
But, and that's a great example because to prepare to play the sport, you ought to prepare the pathways. And what Joel hadn't done was go from 0 to 60 quickly and cut quickly because that's not a lot of what we do in here. And so as we know what the sport is, then we can change how we're focusing, okay? Those are my favorite things. I mean, all 8 pages are great. All 8 pages are great. But, and it goes into things. What if I don't have time for all of this? And it talks about how much time you actually need. Fringe athletes, aerobics, anaerobics, the Olympic lifts, gymnastics, goes into detail on what they're referring to specifically there. Routines, neuroendocrine, adaptation, power, cross-training, functional movement. What should I eat? The caveman paleo, what food should I avoid? What is the problem? Calorie restriction, okay? Everybody should read it. Anyways, what are your thoughts, Joel? What were your takeaways?
I mean, the whole CrossFit, like the idea of CrossFit is that you get everything done in an hour. And that's including a warm-up, a specific warm-up, the workout, the strength training. You get it all done within an hour versus what most unexperienced athletes think happen. You go to the gym, you spend 2 to 3 hours because they're doing all the isolation exercises, no cardio whatsoever. Then they're getting out, then they realize, oh, I don't have time to do all this. Oh, I'm not getting anywhere. Oh, I'm going to stop doing this. And they don't do nothing at all.
Right.
Whereas CrossFit, you're led throughout the whole hour. You're told what to do. That way you do no thinking on your part. You just do what we tell you. We set you up to not to fail, and then you're done, and then you're out the door, okay? All within an hour. You can't tell me you do not have an hour to devote to exercise.
Right. No, so, and I want to be, let's be very, very, not careful, specific here. So.
Well, careful, too, because, I mean, I don't want to take away from anyone that has, like, a super busy life, but how else are you using your time? Like
so I think the point is, because I think what you can remove there is it's not even an hour.
It's not an hour.
If you didn't have a coach, if you didn't go to a class, not even an hour.
No.
If you did something for 20 minutes,
that's it.
You're going to get something, you know. There's 5-minute Metcons that'll smoke you, you know.
The guy behind Tabata's like, this is all you need, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, and so.
I forget his name.
So CrossFit
it's not in this one.
is CrossFit's based on intensity. Okay. And the idea.
No, it's not this one.
So okay, let me just go back to the definition. Okay, constantly varied functional movement executed at high intensity. Okay, so what does that mean? Compound movements. We talk about that in foundations.
Squats, lifts, presses.
All the stuff Joel's been saying, and then execute at high intensity, and that's where it gets confused. Okay, so intensity is not speed.
No.
Okay, it can be expressed through speed depending what you're doing, but it's not speed. It
and
might
how
be
well you move.
It might be heavy weight, but that's the main thing. okay?
Yeah.
There can be someone that is moving with great intensity through some, from the outside, slow air squats, slow push-ups, slow burpees. But if it's to them and it's guaranteeing the quality of movement and they're pushing as hard as they can within maintaining that quality of movement, that is an intense workout.
Yeah, for their conditioning. We're all in different spaces for conditioning.
Absolutely. And that's why having a coach is so valuable, because I think overhead squat's a great example. There's a balance to be struck. There's time you should spend suffering through not being great at the overhead squat, and then there's time you should spend modifying it to a front squat or a back squat to where you can move fast, or move well,
or get some work in.
That's it.
Because you're not so good at overhead squats, so you're just overhead squatting maybe a PVC pump.
Right, and so
your legs ain't getting nothing
we generally what we'll do, depending on the day, it's not always this way. Depending on the day, depending on the goal, a lot of times we will let someone stick with PVC, stick with an empty bar during the warm up and the setup, and so they'll still get 30 to 50 reps in.
They'll learn something.
They'll learn that they'll get that kind of that
exposed to the
CNS system primed and ready and understanding the pathways. But then when it's time to go and we're trying to get that kind of general physical preparedness aspect in, we'll say, hey man, goblet squats. Hey man, air squats.
Add some resistance.
That's it. Like, what can I get a little bit heavier? What can I get you to move with more confidence? And so back to like, do you have an hour a day? Do you have 20 minutes a day? Stuff like that.
And it's hard to commit to something that you're scared of too. So
absolutely. And so if you're constantly going to the gym and you feel like you suck at everything because your coach doesn't set you up to feel confident in any way, then eventually you'll get discouraged, because when you wake up and it's time to go, you'll be like, oh, I guess, what am I going to suck at today?
Yeah.
And so that's why
this could be experienced athletes too. Experienced athletes ain't the best at every movement. There could be someone who's got the best cardio, but they're not too strong. So they worry about, oh, I'm lifting today, I'm not going to be that great. Or those that are super strong, but they're not good at cardio, so they may not show up on cardio days. Shout out to Tank for showing up on all the cardio days. Recently shared with me that, I told you this, in March this year he was he's in the 270s. Now he's cruising in the 215s.
It's incredible.
Losing a lot of weight, and that's just from him showing up more.
That's incredible.
Showing up more on the days that he doesn't want to show up.
That's incredible.
Just a quick tip. If you see a workout and you don't want to do it, you probably should do that workout.
Yeah, and honestly, man, and I don't think it's a coincidence that he's spending more time in 430. And it's, hey, before anybody gets on me about this, every class is great. Every class is great. But you need to find the people that push you. And what he had a few friends in 430, and now he's hanging out right next to Angie. And you can't tell me that's not rubbing off on him, because he's starting to move the way she moves, in terms of you can see it in his eyes. Like his obvious,
that fire.
She's such a gifted athlete. She moves so well. But Tank is starting to adopt that same mentality.
Yeah.
And even though they might express it in different ways, it's like not a coincidence that suddenly they're in the same space, and then suddenly he's lost all that weight.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my.
He's running 800s every day. He's in here.
That's a new man right
he's
there.
He's running 800-meter run, y'all. All right, let's go.
That's a new man right there.
The burpees. He was like, "Hey, we doing burpees today for Battle Buddy? You doing Battle Butter?
Say that 10
Battle
times
Buddy
fast.
burpees? No, won't do that.
Battle Butter burpees. Battle Butter burpees. Battle Butter.
I don't know. It just sounds like better.
Sorry, Chloe. She's gonna hate that noise.
Anyways, yeah. Back to what we were saying. Shout out to Tank. You're crushing it, bro.
Tank's absolutely crushing it. But here's what I would say about the I don't have time or it's tough. And I don't like the shaming aspect of it. So I guess we talked about this. I went to chiropractor the first time 2-3 weeks ago. I've gone twice now. Yeah. And so the way a Rosty's set up is you meet with the chiropractor for 30 minutes, and then you go to the movement specialist, and then they take care of you and like kind of tell you the drills, stretches that you should focus on for whatever's ailing you, kind of thing. And so Dr. Edward Herta, who was actually my CrossFit client back at 1525, it's a handsome fella, very handsome. And so ladies, go enjoy that. But at the same, and gentlemen, by the way, I mean I enjoy it. But then also go meet his wife Jennifer, who is gorgeous, and she flies private jets.
It's pretty dope.
And like the first time I went, I was like, "Hey Ed, how's your wife?" And he goes, "Well, she's hanging out in Paris right now. I had to fly some guys out there, and so she's got a few days out there." Like, all right, so pretty much perfect family, which probably means they're serial killers, and that's fine. But
sounds fishy here.
No,
too perfect.
Ed's awesome, man, and so go see him. But then Carly, I forget what her last Carly. I think it's Hall. Carly Hall. who is the weightlifting coach at Vintage CrossFit, who's putting on Energy Games. She's
Yo.
the movement specialist there. Recovery specialist, maybe?
We super forgot to mention that Tank is also going to be at the Energy Games.
I forgot he signed up.
He signed up with Anna. Tank and Anna are also going to be there. Even more incentive to go to the
Hell
Energy Games
yeah.
as well.
Tank and Anna signed up for next weekend. So this weekend, Dalila and Summer kicking ass. Next weekend,
Hello.
the Black Wolf Power Ponies, along with Tank and Anna, kicking ass. Okay.
Tank, Juan says he's on you like white on rice, Ben.
And so, does that mean I get a video? That's all I care about. All I care about.
Send the video, Juan.
And so,
Please send it.
when you go to the movement specialist, basically her job or his job is going to be, hey, if this is tight, this is how you stretch it. If this is tight, this is how you mash it out. And when I walk in there, she gave me the, hey, you been foam rolling? And I was like, nope.
You been doing any stretching?
She's like, you on the lacrosse ball? I'm like, nope. She's like, you stretch? I'm like, nope.
You move?
and I wanted to be like, watch me squat.
Yeah.
I have a very nice squat. Thank you very much.
Watch this.
Okay.
Check this out.
But her point is still true.
Yeah.
But she knew I knew Ed, and so we were comfortable. It wasn't like she was talking to a stranger. Okay.
No,
I didn't know her, to be fair.
She knew she could address you.
Right. It was fine. And then she goes, well, how often are you working out? And I'm like, I have a real tough time working out right now. And she's like, you don't have an hour a day?
Ooh,
and I go, look,
hurts.
man, I know the tagline. Thanks. And then I explained to her, I was like, look, I live in the place that I work, and I am not always happy with how it's going. And so when I look at my gym, I don't see it as an escape, and I see it as a prison, and it's tough for me to get moving. And she goes, okay, I understand that, whatever. So we move on. My point is that whole hour a day. When she said it, and again, I understand it, and I appreciate her, but I will say, in the moment she said it, I got fucking angry. Like, in my heart, like, I was heated. Because that's bullshit. Yeah. Yes, I have an hour a day, okay? Mm-hmm. And yes, I know I would like to work out. Like, every day, I told Madison the other day, nobody has consumed as much pre-workout as I have and then not worked out. Okay? Nobody. Nobody has consumed in my life as much pre-workout and then not done a workout after drinking. And I don't drink it because I don't know. If you see me with pre-workout, I have an intention to train, and then I don't. Something comes up, I get out there, it's just whatever, okay? All right, so the hour workout a day thing. Sorry, we got interrupted, and we're back at it. Just wanted to finish with what the human body needs. It's not an hour of training. It's not 2 hours of training. The minimum effective dose is actually very, very small, especially if you are paying attention to nutrition. And so what it takes actually is, if you had 20 minutes where you could devote to movements that you could already do very, very well, then you can get a really effective workout in there. What an hour long can afford you is the opportunity to learn new movements and to practice new movements. So it's kind of this balance between practice and doing, or practice and execution. We talk about that a lot here. For example, with double unders, there are times where we're like, yeah, trip your way through it, figure it out. And there are times we say, hey, pick what you're good at, pick what you can move well with. And what we're speaking to is your ability to create and maintain intensity. But I don't like the shaming of, hey, if how do you not have an hour? Because it's not just schedule. It can be, honestly, like for me, it's a lot more emotional or anxiety, stress. If it's an episodic, like a period of depression, something like that, that's going to be more of the reason I don't get it. And if we want to go, hey, that's willpower, that's fine, man. You wanna fault my willpower? Like, I don't mind. I've analyzed this and shamed myself more than you ever could. And so I want to be empathetic to those that struggle with the ability to get in there. And also, when you have more responsibility, it's not as easy. So it's one of those things. You have to be active. You have to move. But I think what CrossFit's done such a great job of is demonstrating that Fran, which is 5 minutes. It's intended to be 5 minutes, and that's it. You're not meant to do more than that. You're supposed to warm up, get ready, nail it for 5 minutes, like the best you can, whatever load that is, whatever version of a pull-up that is, and then be done. Stretch and go home. And so, honestly, that could be done in 30 minutes, like all together, with a really effective warm-up or really effective cool-down. It could be done in 20 minutes in a pinch. And so I think that's what And I think that's one of the original draws to CrossFit. Like, I think that you didn't have access to weight training in an hour or less before CrossFit really made this popular. And so I would imagine that's what is so enticing and why you've seen such a rise in strength conditioning gyms that are doing the same thing, fitness gyms, whatever we want to call them, and good for them.
And they're calling it cross-training.
Cross-training
gyms.
gyms.
To say that they're not doing CrossFit.
Not doing CrossFit. You know what's funny is, like, that's fine. You're allowed to not do CrossFit. But then they go out of the way to, like, talk shit about CrossFit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, nobody was going to give you crap about, like, you don't need to. We know you're doing it. We know that you're using the same methodology, you know, as it's written in foundations, you know. It's just always humorous to me that then they feel insecure about it to the point of, like, CrossFit's stupid. I'm like, well, you're utilizing the same principles without many of the beneficial aspects like nutrition, without community, without things like that. So it's actually you're not even bringing the best parts of CrossFit to your gym.
And I'm always annoyed with the you get hurt in CrossFit argument. You get hurt doing anything. You could walk, trip over air, and sprain your ankle. There are professional athletes in professional sports get hurt all the time. You don't talk shit about that. No one's like, oh, but you get hurt in CrossFit. The first time I tore my pec was in a regular gym.
Yep.
You get hurt doing anything. There are fail videos of people always getting hurt doing the stupidest shit ever. It's not just CrossFit.
I mean, you can roll your ankle going for a jog. You don't stop running.
Yeah.
You're not like, oh, never going to run again.
Exactly.
You know, but I think we did that in the first Battle of Bullshit episode. So you can go revisit one of our original episodes way back in the day.
Yeah.
6 months ago now.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Almost 7.
Okay. Well, I think we've covered everything. Sorry for the change in energy, but we are going to wrap things up. I believe it is 8:21, so Joel might have a few minutes, not have to rush into 8:30.
Oh, yeah.
Which would be nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Joel, you got anything else?
Nope. Stay awesome, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Go to Hammer Chisel tomorrow. See me at 8 and 9 in the morning. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.
That is it. Have a great Friday. Bye.